Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hare
Thank you very much for the beautiful chanting. Hare Krishna. So, we are reading from Japa book by His Grace Burujana Prabhu. We were able to finish 18th chapter by His Krishna's blessings and entering into the 19th chapter, which has a bunch of questions, just question and answer. Just to give some sample of what these questions are, like I notice chanting one mantra approach takes me longer time because Burujana Prabhu, the entire principle technique that he's been teaching is to chant one mantra fully focused. So if we do that one, it's going to take a long time. So another question is, how do we deal with mind's constant chatter? We are chanting and mind is talking to us. Something different, nothing about Krishna, something else. I become disturbed when I chant among other devotees. Sometimes people have a thing that I chant by myself. Why we have to come into the group and chant together? So that I cannot. It's difficult for me. How do I deal with that? How do I maintain chanting in the mode of goodness when the other services requires passion? So there's a number of such beautiful questions. We will see a few questions. The first question is, I notice with this one mantra approach that it takes me longer to chant. I'm afraid that it will now take me forever to chant my rounds. Answer. I could answer this question in several ways. Is there a problem? So Gurujana Prabhu is asking this back a question. Is there a problem with chanting forever? Because you said it's going to take forever. Or I could suggest that you chant one mantra attentively and the rest inattentively. Second approach is giving. At least chant one mantra attentively to start somewhere. Rather than telling all my 16 rounds were inattentive chanting, somewhere you just remember. If you also remember that I think you, Amona Prabhu, said you sit and chant in front of the deity 1 round or 2 round, and at least to make sure you're focusing those many rounds. So, same approach. That is definitely a choice you can make. But I think you'll find that once the mind quiets, your chanting will naturally speed up. At the same time, you have to find a balance. Finding the balance between the physical, mental, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual is in itself difficult. But fortunate are those who can successfully harmonize the elements of their life with their deepest spiritual aspiration. If it can take longer to chant, but if it does, it means that all these years we have probably been chanting without listening. This is why we continue to get the same result from our chanting. There is such a difference between chanting with attention and chanting without it. The effect of the consciousness is like night and day. I think everyone has that experience. We all are very much follower of the cause and effect theory. For any effect, there must be a cause. If there is a cause, there will be an effect. So that same principle applies in the chanting also. If you chant nicely, you get nice result. If you chant inattentively, the result will be accordingly. So it's quite obvious. Uh, at least there'll be something, but the growth will be very slow. That's the point. So I cannot say that you shouldn't offer services other than chanting, and neither can I say that you should chant inattentively. So you will have to find a balance. Theoretically, it takes the same amount of time to chant an inattentive round as it does to chant an attentive round. That's a very important point. But it takes time. It will take some practice. Although practically, attentive rounds may take a little longer at first. Yeah. But once the mind has become addicted to the taste of the holy name, chanting will be faster and easier. That's a response to the first question. Moving on to the second question. Shall I move on to the second question or any reflection? Okay. How do we deal with the mind's constant chatter? Answer: no matter what happens, bring the mind back to the same simple focus and don't worry about the mind. If you do, if you do worry about it, it will alternatively criticize and praise you. By the end, you will be confused and the mind will have gone onto something else. Don't worry about anything other than hearing. Choose the speed of your chanting so that the mind has less room to escape and is forced to stay focused on its simple task of listening to the next word, the next mantra. So, this is not one person problem. The mind keeps talking to us. Everyone's problem. It's a global problem. Therefore, the only way that we have to deal with this is remember we are chanting now. Constantly keep telling to our mind, well, I'm chanting now. Let me chant. Let me chant. So we have to train our mind to tell, come back, come back. And so we can chant nicely. So we can easily chant, pick up chanting and focus on our chanting. One time, um, Krishna realized that he had promised that he will come back to Vrindavan after he went to Mathura, but he is tied up with his responsibilities and duties. So he was want to make the gopis comfortable, console them. So he was thinking what to do, send some message to them. So he called his dearmost friend, also a relative, is Uddhava. And then he said, Uddhava, you please go to Vrindavan and then convey some message that I will come. And Uddhava said, okay, what is it exactly I need to tell them? Krishna said, they are in separation of me. Therefore, best thing is for you to go and tell them, teach them bhakti yoga. And Uddhava became very excited, very happy. Okay, definitely I will do that one. So Uddhava, he goes when the chariot enters into Vrindavan, from the distance, the gopis and every resident, they all literally thought it's Krishna was come. The chariot, everything was same. Therefore, they thought it's Krishna was returned back to Vrindavan. And from a distance, also, when Uddhava got off the chariot, they thought it's Krishna. Because he was pretty much identical to the complexion, the height, the everything for that matter. He was almost looking like Krishna. So they thought if Krishna was come, they just some gopis fainted. Some were telling, hey, come on, get up. This is not time to faint. Come on, get up. Let's Krishna is there. Let's go. They all, as they got closer, then they found some difference that this is not Krishna. This is not Krishna. And then Uddhava came. Uddhava, after being treated very nicely, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, and they all very happy. They took care of him exactly like as if Krishna has returned. Especially, this happens if you've been away from your country and say one of your close friend goes to India and your parents knows you and your friend were together, read together in the school. Now you both are in America and now your friend has come, you've not come. And how does your parent treat your friend? As if they treat their own son as come. They feel that they get the same type of emotions and feelings, and it's just natural for parents. So Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda were doing the same thing to Uddhava. That anyway, the next day came and they had a one-on-one meeting, a team meeting with Uddhava and Gopis. And Gopis, Uddhava said, I have something very important things to teach you all so that you don't feel the separation of Krishna. You can see that Krishna is right in front of you. You can experience that Krishna is right in front of you. And the Gopi said, oh, okay, okay, what is that you want to teach us? I want to teach you all yoga, bhakti yoga. Okay. What do you want us to do? Tomorrow morning we'll start the course. Go and take bath, deep bath in Yamuna when it's cold in the early in the morning, 4 o'clock, go take bath and come into this spot. Come with yoga mat. We'll all prepare and sit, and then I'll teach you what to do so you can always remember Krishna. You can see Krishna. These girls are innocent girls. They don't know anything. They're not educated. And so they said, okay, whatever you say. They went and, but they said, 4 o'clock morning and all, it's not our habit. Seriously, Gopikas, 4 o'clock, getting up at 4 o'clock morning is not our thing. It's very difficult for us. We only see the sun after it comes. So getting up in the morning is all very difficult. Uddhava said, no, no, if you want to feel Krishna, then you have to follow what I said. Get up in the morning, 4 o'clock, cold water bath, and then come with yoga mat, sit in front of everyone, sit assemble and sit, and I will teach you what to do. The teacher is very excited that he got good students finally. And all the gopis of Vrindavan, they just simply, they did not happy about getting up in the morning at all. But they got up and they did the same thing. They came in front of Uddhava. They all assembled in that in the auditorium. Now they spread the yoga mat, sit on it. Sit on Padmasana, he said. What is Padmasana? He showed how to sit Padma. They have no idea. They sat on Padmasana. And I said, and then you have to chin mudra. You have to keep the mudra like this and keep on your thighs. All this directions. Now, off, close your eyes and focus on the tip of your nose. And Gopi said, hey, what is all this? And anyway, he said, and now you can focus on the tip of your nose. While you're doing that, think of Krishna. And if you can, they asked, what happens if you do this one? They said, if you continue to do that one, bring the focus, then finally what happens is that you can see Krishna everywhere. And they immediately got up and rolled everything and said, we are trying to forget Krishna seeing everywhere. And you're trying to do all this thing for us to bring Krishna in front of us. The biggest problem is we are trying to forget him, and that's not possible. And you're trying to change the whole program. He's a cheater. He's not getting out of our conscious. Wherever we go, whatever we see, it's all Krishna. And then at that point of time, Uddhava understood it is not Krishna, is Krishna sent him to teach him bhakti yoga to the gopis, is to teach Uddhava the bhava, the devotion that the gopis have. That's a important point. The point here is that how is that related is to um, uh, we can only aspire, we can only hear these things, but completely mind is fully in Krishna consciousness, always thinking about Krishna. Anything that you see, anything you touch, anything that you feel, anything that you eat, anything that breathe, everything is Krishna, 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 right? And that only happens when we simply start with a simple practice of chanting Krishna's name attentively. If we don't do that one, even with one round of chanting at least, if we do not take that step of at least let me do 1 round, 2 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds, some rounds attentively sitting and focusing, and this will never happen otherwise. That's the point. We have to take steps somewhere to make some changes to our program, the way that we have been doing. If you've been doing the way that we have been doing, it's the same result we are going to get. If you want a different result, if we want a different result, then we got to do something differently. It's quite a simple formula. It's a simple formula. If you want to become something in your life, you cannot do the say if you want to become a dancer, you can't keep on going to the music class and then expect I'll become a dancer. You got to change your program from dancing to join a dancing class so we can become a dancer. So the result is depends on the effort that we put in. There's no doubt or question about it. That should be the thing that applies in any field of our life. Any field of our life. Okay, what questions do we have? We did 2 questions today. Any reflections? Some of the questions related to the chanting that you may ask may come in this chapter also. We don't know. I've read few of them. I can't remember all. But any discussions?
No, when the chatter comes from the mind, sometimes it starts with Krishna's pastimes. then slowly and steadily deviates from Krishna's pastime to something nonsense. So should we curtail it at that time itself when when we deviate to Krishna's pastime, or it's okay?
No, it's not okay because we know which stage we fall into. We are not on the Mahabhava stage where we can always continue to be in that pastime. We know very well it will come to our own pastime later. Therefore, the first time only we understand, very nice, Krishna, thank you for pulling me, like how Ravana came. This is not a very good example, but I have to tell anyway. Ravana came as a very nice guy. That's how he entered the ashram. He came as a very nice guy, sannyas order. Then he changed his form. So these things are all will come. So we say, I'm not into that stage yet, Krishna. Please let me only simply hear the chanting, sound vibration. That's all I need now. So I think it's better to just stop their mind and bring back, because that's what has been told throughout the book. Focus on the chanting. Then slowly, when we purify ourselves, where chanting is purified, we are not chanting for the sake of chanting as a duty to chant to finish the 16 rounds, but we want to chant for the which other like to chant. That's it. When we get to that stage, that's when things happens in our mind, is we can validate that this is something that genuine. At this point of time, we are all trying to finish our chanting. And what is the question of releasing the pastime of Krishna? So we have to focus on chanting for now. Thank you all very much. Let's all meet again tomorrow, 5 a.m. Central Time. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful
Hare Krishna.
chanting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.